Exodus 12:37 tells us that 600,000 Israelite men left Egypt on foot, and when you include women and children, this number could reach 2 to 3 million people. This story of the mass exodus is one of the most foundational events in the religious narratives of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It depicts a nation's miraculous deliverance from slavery, an event that has inspired countless generations. Yet when we turn to historical records and archaeological findings, the historicity of this event becomes a matter of significant debate. The Egyptians were meticulous record keepers. Their civilization documented everything from harvests and slave rosters to military campaigns and building projects. Archaeologists have unearthed records mentioning Canaanite workers, but there is a glaring absence of any mention of an Israelite slave population numbering in the millions. There is also no record of the 10 plagues that supposedly devastated Egypt, nor of the departure of a massive workforce, an event that would have likely had catastrophic effects on the Egyptian economy. The question then shifts to the Sinai Peninsula, where the Israelites are said to have wandered for 40 years. Since the 1970s, this area has been systematically excavated. Israeli archaeologist Israel Finkelstein and his colleague Neil Asher Silberman, in their 2001 book The Bible Unearthed, concluded that the Sinai shows no evidence of a large group of people camping or traveling through it for an extended period. If 2 to 3 million people had indeed lived in the Sinai for 40 years, they would have left behind an unmistakable archaeological signature, remnants of encampments, tools, pottery, and other artifacts. Kadesh Barnea is one specific site where the Israelites reportedly camped for 38 years. Extensive excavation of this area reveals no evidence of occupation from the relevant period around the Late Bronze Age, approximately 1250 BC. Such a lengthy stay by such a large population would have required significant infrastructure for food and water, yet no trace of such infrastructure has been found. A counter-argument often presented is that nomads don't leave traces. However, 2 to 3 million people would not constitute a mere nomadic band. Such a massive migration would have been unprecedented in ancient history, requiring extensive logistics and infrastructure which would undoubtedly leave archaeological traces. The scale of such a migration would be unlike anything recorded in ancient history and would not go unnoticed in the archaeological record. Instead, the evidence we do have paints a different picture. Israel Finkelstein's excavations at sites in Canaan suggest the Israelites were not migrants from Egypt, but largely indigenous to the region. The pottery styles, building techniques, and the notable absence of pig bones align with a continuous local culture rather than an influx of foreign elements. These findings point to a gradual cultural evolution rather than an abrupt migration from Egypt. In conclusion, the Exodus, as described in the Bible, almost certainly did not happen in the way it is traditionally recounted. This does not mean that the story lacks any historical kernel, but the notion of 2 to 3 million people, 10 plagues, and 40 years in the desert is not supported by the evidence we have. Instead, what we see is a narrative that may have been constructed or embellished to serve as a powerful foundational myth for a people seeking identity and cohesion. Does history support the biblical Exodus narrative?